So now we have our limit definition of a derivative. So that was the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x, all being divided by h. So the first thing we need to find is what goes into this f of x plus h part. So we're going to take x plus h and we're going to sub that into our function. So we're going to replace x with x plus h. So we're going to have x plus h squared. Of course, this just means take x plus h and multiply it by itself. So if we FOIL that out, we get x squared plus xh plus xh plus h squared, which we can simplify to x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. So now we know what we can sub into our function here. So we are going to replace that in our function. So we are going to have the limit as h approaches 0. We're going to replace f of x plus h with what we found up here. So we're going to have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. And then we need to minus our original function. So that's just the x squared. And then all of that needs to be divided by h. So now we have our function. So we're going to have to factor because we can't do direct substitution. I can't put 0 in here because I can't divide by 0. So we need to find some things that we can simplify. So the first thing I notice is I have a positive x squared here and a negative x squared here. So those are going to cancel each other out. So we're going to have the limit as h approaches 0 of 2xh plus h squared, all being divided by h. So I still can't substitute because there's h in the denominator here, but both terms in the numerator have an h. So this means that I can factor that top. So we're going to have the limit as h approaches 0. We're going to factor out an h. So that's going to leave me with 2x plus h being divided by h. So now I can cross out my two h's here. So we get a very simplistic, the limit as h approaches 0 of 2x plus h. Now that I no longer have that denominator, I can sub in. So we get the limit of this is 2x. So you can see this is very different. Now we're getting the function as a limit. So the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x over h is 2x. What this means for us is that the slope of a tangent line for any point on our graph of x squared is 2x. So any point on the graph, I just have to take that x value and double it, and that tells me what my slope is. So it wanted us to do it for x equals 1.5, so this means that the slope is 3. So in our graph, our parabola, at the point 1.5, we have a slope of 3.